It's like when you look at it from the right side, you're like, oh, it's just bags.
Dude.
And then you come to the left side, you're like, damn.
People were putting up to me on the right side. They're like, nice bag. And then they'll pass me and like, oh. And you can see their face change.
It looks really bad from the other side. Oh, jeez. Jeez. This is not a bike that I ever wanted to touch in this kind of way. But this is a bike that many of you know well. This is my brother James's 2017 Victory Magnum, and he wrecked this bike several months ago. Don't worry, he's 100% fine. But this bike is not 100% fine. This is the orange peel, or as some of you have said, it has been orange peeled. I'm not the owner of that or the creator of that, but he brought this bike to me because of everything that I'm doing here and in hopes of us trying to salvage something from this bike and get it back on the road. But let me tell you, the fact that Victory Motorcycles was discontinued in 2017 by Polaris, yes, you can still get parts if they have not been, I guess, completely discontinued a specific part. But it is going to be difficult to get the body pieces for this bike and just well, anyway, what we're going to do, just like the other ones, we're gonna look at all the damage, kind of figure out what happened as far as how certain things got damaged, and we're gonna take some parts off and see what's all broken and try to come up with some type of plan of action. So unfortunately, we're doing this, but we're doing this. The most obvious broken piece is the outer fairing, this inner fairing, or this bracket piece that holds all of this stuff together, wiring, windshield, inner and outer fairing, radio, stereo, all that stuff. This is just completely busted. And the reason why this is even damaged in the first place is because the engine guard did not fully do its job. Right side engine guard, we can see that it completely held up its end of the deal. The welds are still good right there. You can see where it made contact with the ground and rusted out. Foot peg also made contact with the ground. It protected pretty much all of this. Floorboard, still good. Motor, no issues. This side of the tank, good. Forks, we do have a little nick there, but the majority of this is perfectly fine. It did its job on this side. But when we move to this side, the engine guard is not here. It broke off completely from its weld point. This is where it mounts into the frame. Because of this breaking under impact, I don't know the impact, I was not there when this happened. All of this, including this teardrop, this beautiful teardrop tank, man. You can see the paint chipping there as well. Big dent right here, because I'm imagining when the bike went down or this broke, the handlebars probably pushed in here, possibly. That's the only thing I could think. Right here, the handlebars dented this. They came back too far. I guess they twisted to the left. Now I'd imagine this made contact, this made contact with the ground, probably pushing this further in or backwards more than it normally is, and that's what made contact there. And of course this floorboard is jacked up, but the motor, there's no damage to these fins. I don't see anything leaking. The motor seems to be good, but this is all just jacked up. If that engine guard had held up, there's a good possibility that even if the bike went all the way on its side, this would probably still be intact. This would probably still be intact, because possibly, well, I don't really know. I wasn't there, but there's a good possibility that the fairing wouldn't have made contact with the ground. This wouldn't have pushed into this. At worst, we might have had a damaged saddlebag. But because of that, now you got damaged saddlebag, which is gonna be over $1,000, a tank that's over $1,000, a front fairing that's over $1,000, not to mention the inner, outer piece, all that stuff. Yeah, because of that engine guard breaking, which I will not recommend to anybody now, this thing has definitely caused more damage. Now, it could have been the age of the engine guards, but the fact that they broke at that weld point, yeah, that seriously caused a lot more damage. Back seat, this can probably be bent back where it needs to be, no big deal, right? Yeah, we need an entirely new right saddlebag. What's interesting enough the dirt has compacted into, I don't even know how this is, like, did the bike go backwards? Because how does this go in if the bike's going forward, right? But you can see this is severely damaged. But we're gonna start the bike, but we gotta clear this out first. The hinge right here is damaged, and the exhaust under there is badly damaged. Let's see on the inside. Whoa. Okay. Well, yeah, that's completely broken. All right. More broken parts. What the heck is this? This has some type of board on it. That's probably from the interfering. Yeah, more interfering pieces. We're gonna need those screws, right? Just fantastic. I guess there's no point in trying to lock this, right? There's all kinds of brackets and screws, bent, busted, missing. Fender, front fender, that beautiful shape that this thing has. There's a slight bend right there, actually. Bent on both sides, where I assume the front wheel made contact or the fender made contact and pushed in, so it's gonna have to be pulled out. If it weren't the fact that parts are scarce, even though parts are still being made for this, it wouldn't be as bad. But it's just the fact that this bike ceased production in 2017, so finding parts is just difficult, or at least it's almost unreasonable given the circumstances of the company itself, if that makes sense. Since this bike is the icon that it is, and for the person whom is the owner of this bike, we're not gonna just let it be total. We're gonna give it a try, and we're gonna see what we can do. But I am gonna have to reach out to you guys for some help. So if you can help me with this, reach out, because this is a lot. But let's go ahead and start pulling some of these parts off and just see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Don't have to unlock this. No, no. All right. There you are. I'm just gonna loosen up this exhaust flange, and we're just gonna pull it out, and dirt's gonna go everywhere, but it'll be easier than what I'm trying to do. How did you even manage to get something that far down in there? Sharp stuff, so I went back and got my gloves. 2 lines right here. Pop them up like that. Screwdriver on the sides. Hooray, more screws. Ta-da! Okay. What? Seriously? Battery seems to be connected, so nothing. Okay, it's better. Got something. Battery just died. See if we get the fuel pump to prime. Barely. That sounds better. We don't have quite enough voltage to get this thing started. We need 12 volts at least. We're gonna give it a few more tries, see what we get. And now we wait. Okay, it is the next day. This battery is not charging. So I don't know if it's the tender cable that's being used or my battery tenders. Like this piggyback is not mine. This is already on the battery. It is not charging the battery. It's been red. So something's going on. So I'm gonna take this battery out and we're gonna see what's going on. Charge it the old fashioned way and put another one in here. But we're gonna get this bike started. We're gonna try this again. With this battery down here that was already on the charger, this is the best possible chance of this working. So let's see what happens. All right, after a few days of work, we got the Victory Magnum stripped down to the bare essentials. There's no painted parts on the bike, and I think we got most, if not all, of the broken pieces off of the bike. Now it's time to kind of figure out what can be, I guess, repaired, what needs to be replaced. But we also have to keep in mind that some of these parts cannot be replaced because they're no longer for sale. So there's a few techniques that we can use to kind of fix some of these plastic parts that we're going to explore in the coming days. So definitely make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. But if you have any tips out there, or you saw any of these broken parts that you may have access to as a spare part, definitely let me know. Let's get this bike back on the road. But as always, thanks for listening to my story. If you're subscribed, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.